I wanted to shoot a quick video here to deal with something that I just learned about this morning, dealing with the Mormon church and a policy that they've developed regarding children within a same-sex marriage. There's changes to the LDS Handbook number 1, document 2, revised on November 3rd of 2015, and it says this: a natural or adopted child of a parent living in a same-gender relationship, whether the couple is married or cohabiting, may not receive a name and a blessing, end quote. Natural or adopted children living in a same-sex household will only be allowed to be baptized once they are 18, disavow the practice of same-sex cohabitation or marriage, and stop living within the household. According to the policy, such baptism would still require the approval of the church's governing First Presidency. And this just blows me away, because biblically this is as unbiblical as you could possibly get. It reminds me actually of a passage in Mark chapter 10, verses 13 and 14. We read this in the Bible: and they brought young children to him, that he should touch them. And his disciples rebuked them that brought them. But when Jesus saw it, he was displeased, and said unto them, suffer the little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of God. So Jesus was very upset over that, and he didn't say check and make sure that they're not living with, people that might be living in a same-sex relationship. So, I mean, this is really disturbing to me. But John 3:36, there's another verse that I wanted to look at, and this is where all kinds of people need to look at some things anyway. Because whether you're a Mormon, a Christian, a non-Christian, whatever you claim to be, John 3:36 really boils down the gospel to a large degree, and really you ought to look at all of John chapter 3. It's a very key chapter. John 3 verse 3, Jesus says a man must be born again to see the kingdom of God. But in verse 36, we find this: he that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abideth on him. Being a Christian and going to heaven or being saved biblically is not at all about baptism or any other dumb thing that the Mormon church has made up and added in to their supposed plan of salvation. The plan of salvation from God's perspective is Jesus came and died. If we look to him and believe in him, we're saved. We'll be saved. God did 100% of everything that was necessary for our salvation. That means we do nothing except for trust in him. And to learn more about that, look at John chapter 3, verses 14 and 15, where Jesus said, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Jesus was comparing himself to what Moses did with a brass serpent. The children of Israel were being bit by snakes and dying because they were being poisoned. Jesus himself related that to our condition. We've all been bitten with sin. We've all sinned. And, we're all guilty of sin. Look at Romans 3:23, 6:23, 10, 9, and 10. It's not about what we do, it's about what Jesus did. Another thing I wanted to point out, if you haven't watched the video Audacity, it's right here on YouTube. So watch the movie Audacity, and it deals, I think, very well with the Christian view on homosexuality. Of course, homosexuality is a sin, so is lying, so is stealing, so is looking on a woman with lust, or a man for that matter. I mean, we all have sinned. The Bible's very clear about that. There is none righteous. Jesus said, "Why do you call me good? There is none good save one, that is God." Jesus wasn't claiming that he wasn't good. Jesus was just pointing out what that meant. If he was good, he was God, and he was God. So there's none good but one, that's God. But I just wanted to shoot this video because it seems to be a pretty timely video to make. And watch the video Audacity and read the Bible, and you'll see more clearly, I believe, the good perspective to have when it comes to same-sex marriage or anything else. I mean, it is sinful, but there's lots of sin. We're all guilty of sin. But thank you for your time.